Okay, so we just ate food, and now we're doing this.
Yeah.
And
Wait, you're ruining the illusion of what?
it was a mistake.
No, I like. That's the first time I've ever been to that place, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
No, I mean the food was great, but I mean just
This is the intro?
energy levels.
Oh, yeah.
This is. Oh,
I'm bubbly. Yeah. Woo. This is the bubbly cast.
Well, we always banter before the intro, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is good. I like a little.
Relax,
banter.
everybody. It's gonna be okay.
I had
Nobody's listening.
I had a tiny bit of gluten.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we get to see Elliot
Elliot.
off the handle.
Does gluten work
tomorrow.
on you? Is it like booze? Like the same thing? You kind of go crazy?
No.
No. Not that you go crazy on booze. I don't want to booze shame anyone.
And then we're both looking at you, Nash.
Yeah, God bless you, Darren. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who knows? I don't get drunk, so I don't. That's actually what scares me the most is I don't know what's under the surface. I don't know what's I know what's under there, and I don't want people
You're
to
like
see
a clean,
it.
you're like a clean comic.
You're like, I can't hide. Yeah, exactly. You're like a clean comic, or apparently they're the worst, where they're like, oh, super squeaky clean and could do the Mormon shows, and then just like total rapist.
That's you. Over there, Nash, and that.
Nash Park, total rapist.
No, but like, just emotionally.
That's possible. Okay, I did have a shot last night, actually.
What?
Post show, somebody mentioned
Did
this.
you used to?
What? Nash had a shot.
No act outs.
Nash, here we go.
So somebody brought up this drink called Scooby Snack, which sounds like a ridiculous shot. It's like whipped cream, like lime thing, and I thought it'd be funny. I did it for the laugh, the hee-haw.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get around Scooby Snacks. And then I did it, and then I felt amazing. All my anxieties melted away, and I just sat there, and I was like, uh-oh.
That's why people drink.
I'm the
Yeah.
opposite.
Just-
I have one booze. Is that how you say it?
That's what you
Yes.
say at one booze.
That's why you always get ideas.
I would like a booze, please.
booze, please.
I booze. I have one boozer, and then my brain just goes inward, and I'm like, I am the worst person of all time.
Really?
I hate myself.
How do you do that with? I do that with weed for sure.
Weed too, yeah.
Weed is the worst, but
And
booze I
gluten.
find like it. My inhibitions, not inhibitions, but also it's that social anxiety, right? You're like, oh, I'm going out to a place, I want to talk and be social, and you just have that shot, and then you feel like, oh yeah, I'm riffing and raffing and hanging out with people, and what's going on? You guys, let's go get some hot dogs.
I got very quiet, and I was very
Oh.
hungry, and I don't. I just kind of chilled out, and I was like, "This is." I can
Nice.
just sit quietly like this for the rest of my life.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Ill Informers podcast. I'm Elliot, and I'm here with Nash and Darren, and let's get
Hey,
two boozers, and
two boozers and a Sobe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a Sobe.
I have been
mostly
sober. Well, not really. People who are actually sober would probably hate me for saying this. I'm like, I'm sober,
I'm not
except
sober.
when I went out to Souk last week, and then I had some in-laws over, so I'd had a couple beers here and there. But generally, like 2020 was like not a single day off. That when 2021 flipped the dial and rolled over, I was like, I'm gonna just
you drank.
take a step back.
You drank every day in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Every day, and some days,
How do you
like
keep
maybe
How do you
two.
keep your body? You should have a beer belly. Do you work out?
Not really. Not really.
I think it's colon cancer.
God, I do.
That's the only other option.
I drink till I throw up, Elliot, and then
Oh,
that's
bulimia.
my trick.
You know how bad my body issues are when I'm like, colon cancer. That's so bad. I'm like, he looks great though.
You too.
It's at the back, and I know it's horrible, but I'm like, man, I just want that. Or like when I see somebody who's off heroin, I'm like, but that body,
That heroin thinness
that
is
post
like,
like
oof.
heroin addict, like
They're ripped.
they're like a soccer player.
They look
When
like
you see those homeless guys,
skateboarder.
they're just like
homeless ripped.
homeless ripped. There's
Yeah.
there's no type of ripped like homeless ripped. There's no meat on that bone, just muscle.
But it's a very
no, it's like
lean-
used muscle.
If you take
based on survival.
Yeah.
well, and it's also just that it is a very surfy. It's a West Coast body style, like a surfboarder or skateboarder fitness.
Functional.
Like yeah,
Yeah, I want we talked about this. I want a skateboarder bod.
yeah, man,
Yeah,
so hot.
or soccer. Like soccer's good. It's just a lot of
Against-
cardio and running.
Running. I find is incredibly difficult, and not enjoyable at all, though.
Yeah.
Skateboarding can be fun. Riding roller coasters, even more so.
Isn't mostly skateboarding? It's just running with one leg.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's true, but it's
Yeah.
also not as funny as you think it is.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. You guys didn't picture it like me.
I got a wheelchair for this one leg and then just push along with the. I do like it. I actually was late once for work, and I ended up skateboarding to work, and I hadn't skateboarded for years.
This was last week, sorry?
This was last week. I work from home, and I was at the airport, and I did damage to myself for about 3 or 4 months afterwards. Like my leg was sore.
You skated from your house to the airport?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
you don't have a bike?
No bike. I mean, I could have borrowed one of my kids' bikes, a little pink bicycle about that big.
Yeah.
The streamers
It's
out the
about
side.
the same as skateboarding.
But I thought I'm like, oh, this won't be an issue. Like I used to skateboard all the time, and I was like, for 3 or 4 months, no joke, like my leg hurt. Like it was the leg I stood on the skateboard with was in agony for. I was like, I think this just continues for the rest of my life because I did exercise.
Yeah, you got out of that your comfort zone. You got to ease out of that as you get older.
You can't just turn around skateboard 13K
I don't know why-
one day.
Everybody's getting injured after COVID because they're trying to work out the same as they did before.
I don't know what happens when I turn. I don't know what happens when you turn 30, but I'm like, I can't. That meal we ate, it's like I shouldn't have ate that. I can't. I'm just gonna pack that on.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was shaming you in my mind. I was like,
When I
look
went
at-
and got you water,
who does Nash think he is?
I know. I can't. I'm like melting. My nipples are here now. They're on the side of my body.
Yeah, I think you do remind me. There's a lot of negative self-talk. I could just picture you going home and looking at yourself in the mirror and just being like,
Look what you've
"You
built.
fat piece of shit, you're terrible."
Look what you built with the time you've had.
Is this your temple?
That's what I say. Yeah.
Whereas Elliot is homeless, jacked.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You've got like some like, I'm sick.
I'm
But not like you haven't been
I got
sick for
polio.
years. Like it's been like 4 months of you don't know what it is yet.
there's still hope. You can still pull out of this.
You're losing weight, but
It's not colon cancer.
Come home,
but not
come home,
muscle
Elliot.
yet.
Just
Yeah, good for you.
I think it's good.
Yeah, you look good for I don't know, like what do you look 48?
a
Like
slob.
Yeah, that's more closer than it makes me kind of sad.
no, but you do look good because a lot of people of your generation, if I may,
Yeah,
tend to like really,
Not give a shit.
and especially once you've been drinking, like
Yeah.
dudes are just get like fucking barrel chested.
and I drank.
T-shirts never fit.
Yeah,
They don't care.
Pot belly.
but I drank a lot, or I did drink a lot, I guess. But fairly consistently, but never to that excess. And I probably have some of that in my head too. That's sort of like if I start to get a little slovenly, then I'm like, all right, you need to
Do you
fucking
eat less because you look
crack-a-lack.
good for somebody who doesn't exercise.
Are you trying to fuck me?
No.
Just kidding.
I'm going to fuck you.
With those thighs, you have no chance.
No,
No
chance
hope.
with that lean body you got there.
Yeah, I can eat any. The thing about my body is I can eat anything, and weight wise, I have no consequences. Like I could eat
See-
all the like no matter what, I could eat just all day long. I do eat all day long, but all the consequences are like inside feeling.
Right.
Like shit, like bad feeling inside, or just
yeah, just bad feeling.
like
not diarrhea,
emotionally or-
emotionally.
yeah.
It's all just like my brain shuts down, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
I get that too, but I used to be able to do that as well, Elliot, probably till I was like in my maybe mid 30s, is almost zero consequences for I could just eat like a trash can. And then after a while I started to have to be like, oh wait, I can't just eat just give
See,
me
I thi-
4 Big Macs, three large fries, and then I just
Yeah.
pound those back.
My weight
I don't eat
gains
fast food.
with food, it's all very fair. Like it's all
You're like, I earned this with
no,
potato
it's like
chips.
That has the potato.
based
chips.
on what I'm eating and how I look. Like that's very fair. It's
Yeah.
not like I don't eat like a.
But you
donuts for a
don't.
week.
But also, to be fair, you don't look bad. Like we all have skinny privilege here, or whatever you want to call.
right.
call
I
it. We're not-
I do feel blessed in that I carry it in a way that is nice.
You look
flattering.
you look kind of muscular,
Yeah.
Thank you.
but with with a shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. And a
Is
sweater.
that
Yeah, and a sweater,
And black sweater.
black sweater. It's all
Yeah.
important. This is all like
yeah? And
this
a
is
hoodie
all very calculated.
and a parka.
You need those stripes. If you had stripes, you would look lean.
Horizontal. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, vertical stripes.
Yeah,
You'd look.
look like a mime.
Yeah, very blessed in that way. Because I do always, people always guess. I'm not gonna talk about this. This is so dumb.
No, talk about
People always guess like what I weigh, and they're like always guess way under.
it. Guess what I weigh?
It's such a dumb brag.
480.
And then they guess. I'm like, oh, I'm way heavier than that.
I wish.
Keep-
I wish
Keep eating,
someone.
Nash. They don't have.
welcome back to Douche Talk with Nash Park. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about me.
I wish someone guessed my weight and it was above. Everybody's like, "You're 12 and 80 pounds." Like,
Yeah, like one. I think we talked about this. 130.
yeah, I'm 130 pounds.
What?
After I eat.
Yeah.
Really? I would have
Don't-
guessed.
Don't
would've
make it a
guessed
thing.
more
Don't make
than-
it. Don't
sorry.
make it a thing. It like hurts my feelings.
One of my favorite treats when I one of my favorite wait
Pussy.
licorice all sorts. No, when
Those contain wheat.
I used to fill up a 1 liter jug with ice cream and let it melt, and then drink it at the end of my shift when I worked at an old folks' home, and that had 0 negative effects on my weight gain.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure that affected your brain though.
It was pretty good.
What? You took ice cream. Wait, let me get this straight. Let me get this. Let me dissect this. You took ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
You left it out
Yeah.
all day.
Your phone's on the floor.
All day? How long would that take to melt?
like a 3-hour shift. Like I had a 4-hour shift, but at the end of dinner service, it would be melted just the right amount
you
that you
went-
could go in there, 1 liter wine carafe packed with melting ice cream.
That'd be like getting a Slurpee and being like, "Let me leave it out in the sun for
It's
an
no
hour."
different than a milkshake. You're just not.
I know, but
blending
I made it.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
warm and tepid.
Oh.
Wouldn't it be tepid by then?
No, it wouldn't be. No, but it was. I mean,
Oh no, tepid it was not.
I don't. I think that's how you develop lactose intolerance.
I know.
Well, I used to do that as a kid when I did ice cream. You would
Oh.
the last little bit I would stir up until
Mm-hmm.
it was like really liquidy, and then I would.
Or if you leave the
Yeah.
carton out for a bit and the edge starts to melt around the side, that's the best ice
Yeah.
cream
So
part.
if you have like a, I'm sure.
I'm not you. I'm not you.
Yeah.
I just learned I'm not you. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. I don't want melted ice cream. I want my ice cream to be ice cream.
It's a generation
God.
thing.
Yeah, in my day we weren't able to freeze
No,
stuff
you
to
no,
the
you
fridge.
froze it and then you took it out and you're like, I don't like it like that.
I want it melted. It reminds me of the 30s.
Floats. I haven't had a float in so long, but I
used
would
to
love
love
a float.
floats.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
how they like fizzled up and then the ice cream was like such a weird texture.
I remember being like the first time I had a float, I was like, wait, what?
But what did you have?
How are people not eating this all the time?
Wait, what? And then they give it to you like, what the fuck? And then you like,
You recall the first?
I think it was at my buddy Ian's
He's
place,
29.
and his mom made them for like a sleepover.
And was it Coke, root beer, or
root
Orange
beer,
Crush?
root beer and vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good combo.
And
Oh,
then
fuck
I was
yeah.
like, what? And then I just remember going along with it because you're a kid and you'll eat anything, and then you're like, oh my god.
It's pretty good.
Then the whole world.
opened up.
Opened up.
Orange and vanilla is good.
Would you have any other ice cream other than vanilla though in a float? No.
I
No,
feel like there's some room for. What if you had a chocolate ice cream with a vanilla Coke?
Nash.
Wait. Wait, that's a video.
How about you think about it?
That might be. Coke seems like a weird combination of float, but chocolate, vanilla, Coke float might be doable. Elliot's going no.
So I would do strawberry and Coke maybe.
Here's hot take. Elliot's got a firm position on all topics.
Fuck this, okay? The only float I'm gonna do, okay, is Tiger mixed with Sprite. That's my float.
What?
If you have a problem with that,
is
you can
wild.
go fuck yourself.
That is-
You know, the only
It's
float,
Tiger orange licorice ice cream.
Yes.
Oh.
the only float I want to see
Have
is
you
Elliot.
actually made that? Sorry, I step it all
No,
over.
it's okay. The only float I want to see is Elliot floating face down in the fucking river.
Yeah, well, pretty light. I'd float pretty well.
What was that?
Pretty
Tiger,
buoyant.
Tiger.
And Sprite?
Tiger, and Sprite. That's all you gotta do.
I don't drink beer. Could you make floats with beer?
Oh, disgusting.
Okay.
Okay,
He's done it.
Now we know.
yes.
He's done it. He put ice cream out for 3 hours and then he dumped in a Lucky.
No,
It's not
kidding. I
good.
don't drink Lucky.
Yeah, floats are the shit. What are some other stuff that's pretty unconventional, you know?
Like float? Do you mean in the float realm?
Yeah.
shit food.
Like that's just a fun.
How
That's just
about?
a fun thing because it's so.
Do you mean like French fry sandwiches with mayonnaise?
I guess so. But I'm trying to think of
We
what
used
else
to
is
do,
like, with like a float.
Oh, okay.
Because float's so like you can't do that, and then you're like, oh, and it's like such a treat.
'Cause-
I would always put chips in tuna sandwiches, and that's delicious.
Dill
Yeah,
pickle chips.
that texture, yeah.
Ketchup chips, not dill pickle. Dill pickle chips suck dick.
No, dill. The
I
dill
don't like
with the
dill.
tuna
I've
sandwich.
never liked dill. Dill can go. No.
Yeah.
You
no
don't have
dill.
it. So what do you put in your tuna fish sandwich besides ketchup chips?
Salt
You
and vinegar
Philistine.
chips. Any other chip, because they're all better than
I
dill.
think I'm with dill. I think I don't really like dill, but if I'm gonna have it with tuna, that's okay.
Yeah. All right. I sense this is podcast has turned into 3 people with mild eating disorders discussing.
Now we get to see the real Elliot. Post gluten Elliot.
You guys can go fuck yourself about dill. Dill's disgusting. I don't. And they put so much dill.
So what is your-
All the other flavors are like subtle. If you notice this, all the other flavors are like, yeah, it's a little bit ketchupy. It's a little ketchupy. It's a little
No,
salt
it's
and vinegar.
not.
You did. You
And
took
then
your
dill.
No, it's not.
Dill
You-
is like, I'm gonna rape your mouth with this dill.
You took your dill pickle chips off your taco.
Those are onions, Darren.
No, but you didn't eat. Okay,
Hey,
maybe.
I think there
they
were
weren't
some
dill.
whispers.
Those aren't
They
dill
weren't
pickles.
dill?
No,
What
they're
were
not
they?
dill. They're just pickles.
Oh.
Oh, the pickles. Oh, I see.
What is a pickle but a dill pickle?
It had no dill in it. There's dill and not dill pickles. You think all pickles are dill?
Yes.
That's true. It's got you there. I like your commitment. I'm going to make a verdict here that you're both idiots. That's my judgment.
I
I've
will go
passed.
down with this dill shit.
Okay, I'm going to argue with it. There's no way that you're saying that ketchup's just light. The entire chips are red.
Yeah,
It's not a subtle like.
it's subtle
dusting.
flavor compared to dill. Dill, you taste dill for 6 days.
That's true. Dill is a strong flavor.
But dill has its place, and it's in tuna fish sandwiches.
In the
So-
garbage.
So what do you?
In the field.
I'm gonna. You never have tuna
It's a
with me.
rotation crop.
I chop up 9 dill pickle, big kosher fat dill pickles, and put it in 1 can of tuna. So it's and that mayonnaise. Throw that on a sandwich. Perfect.
You are the guy that makes soup from everything in the freezer.
This is the dumbest conversation to have ever happened.
I know that's not very yes Andy of me, but just for the sake of humanity,
Okay.
Let's move on.
I'm going to consult my list. Where'd my
You got
list
a better
go?
subject? Okay, masks. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? We're in this stage.
Can we circle back to dill for a minute?
Yeah, no, go ahead. You know what? You're kind of the dill of this podcast. Going to be honest,
Oh shit.
a little bit goes a long way. What is this? Prison mowers?
You had to eat a ketchup and then put a
Oh,
mask
prison
on.
movies. No, prison. If I watch a prison movie, I am inspired to work out.
Why? Go on.
So that you'll have a chance of surviving in prison?
No, I just think
Oh.
You
there's
don't
so
get
many.
your asshole ripped open.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, is that bad to say?
No, that's
Yeah, don't
okay.
be homophobic.
Is the just like guys working out in prison look like they're having so much fun?
I would
And it
love
just-
to be in prison if it wasn't for the.
You get
there's no-
so skinny in prison.
Oh, dude, I would just like, oh, I got to sit this. You're going to feed me 3 square meals a day at the same time. That's perfectly programmed.
You just
and-
need to
and
know
perfectly balanced.
That's all you need to know if you go to prison. Just leave that pocket hanging out.
I don't know what that means.
Someone else comes and grabs your pocket, and then now you're their bitch. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I saw it in a prison movie that I watched, so I could get inspired to work out.
Like if there was no violence hierarchy, I would
Yeah.
love because you get 3 balanced meals a day at the same time, and all you get to do is sit around, read, and
Yeah.
think about what you've done and work out. That's all I want to do.
It's- It sounds like a retreat.
And you can also
basically.
get your GED.
Yeah, go back to school.
You could finally finish high school, Darren.
I'm never gonna finish high
It's like-
school. That shit.
It's like joining the army without the commitment.
Without,
Well, you're still committed to be in prison for 7 to 10 years or however long.
you can
you're-
also, do you know what the best part is? You can get tattoos. Free tattoos.
with a Walkman homemade tattoo gun.
Oh yeah.
You get out here in the real world, you got to pay for that shit.
Yeah, nothing you've wanted more than a big swastika on your back. prison. The same thing that happens when people are like, I think I'm gonna go on a retreat to Tibet. Like that's prison too. is
Yeah.
that same kind of lot of downtime, a lot of
You thought the dill conversation
self-reflection.
was dumb? This is dumber than that. Just FYI. Just
He's going through his list that he took a lot of time to make.
Say weekends do not exist.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
we don't know.
Just so everybody knows, I'm reading Darren's list he brought.
Nash,
did not
Nash,
bring
do you have any topics that aren't Darren's?
Don't topic shame me, Elliot.
Guys at the gas station using money.
Oh, that comes on our conversation of addictions earlier. Very. So I'm listening to two. I got gas before I came here. I pull up to the co-op, and there's 3 young people, like probably in their 20s, talking about going to the casino the night before. And I was like, the one guy's like, they're like, how long did you stay at the casino? He's like, oh, I lost $200. The other guy's like, yeah, I lost $300. I'm like, you guys realize you work at a gas station, right?
Yeah.
How are you, like, you just how is that any fun to go in, lose $200, $300 and then just go pump gas the next day for...
Because they're working for that dream of winning big.
It was just-
I once calculated how much time I work to make a toonie, and it made me sad. I work so long to just get one toonie.
Like this is after your life overhead and things, or
Just right now, like how long? Like I work, like $18 an hour,
Mhm.
and then you divide that by 60 minutes. That's I don't know, for a half an hour. That's $9 for a toonie. So 4 hours of work, I make. Sorry, I don't fucking know.
But not, well, and then...
You bailed so hard on that. Use your calculator.
I
And
ate
you
gluten.
don't-
My brain doesn't work.
And you-
I'm
and-
just trying to calculate like how long. An hour, yeah. So
Not
1 hour.
Not a lot.
But you don't make $18 an
So
hour.
in 30 minutes you make $9. In 15 minutes you make $4.5. So in 7 minutes you make about $2. So it takes me $7. It takes me 7 minutes to make a toonie.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's a lot of minutes to make a $2.
Do you think you're worth more?
Spoken like a true employer.
Like what? I don't know. Just say it. That's capitalism, baby. Hey!
But this is why you like you
I make in 7 minutes I make enough to buy a Kinder Egg. That's how much
So
I'm
this is
trading.
why
I'm
you-
trading 7 minutes of my life for a Kinder Egg.
But this is
Only
why you
if
go-
you buy a Kinder Egg.
7 minutes for the company, 7 minutes for you, and that's when you go to the broom closet and fall asleep or check Facebook or whatever in there for a bit. You have free coffee. You help yourself to some of the vegetables that you're putting out. Like that's how you claw your own back. It's a tried true method of the minimum wage employee for 100 years.
Why don't you
Get a better job because
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
Yeah, that's fair. Not that you're a loser, but okay, yeah. I could see
It's hard.
the comfort and comfort. I'm like I just said, I've only had 4 jobs in my life, so
It's very hard to get
and
a
I love
good job.
complaining, so
Do you not find like I am blown away? I have friends.
I'm not good at interviewing.
I have friends who make far more. Well, you have friends with a bunch of doctors, Elliot, and that's going to be disappointing. Right?
not for you, but for your parents.
And my wife and my kids.
Yeah,
But
your
just in the
two-
way-
your
Everybody
2
knows me.
kids.
Because I'm in the same. I have friends of mine who like easily make 6 figures a year, own houses, vacation homes, and stuff, and I'm like, where did I completely fuck up?
No, what you got to do is you got to do
I'm-
the classic Victoria route is do what you're doing for another 5 years and then get a job in government.
That's what my wife was like. You should get a job.
Bing.
Yeah, pension, benefits,
Yeah.
great wages.
Is that the only job in Victoria?
9 to 5?
Basically, it's the
You
only
can be a
job
barista or government.
you can slide your way into. But also too is like you can do it like you want to do that very quickly because there are people who are like, oh, they got in there, they started doing that when they were 20 and they retire at 55, like full pension. They're just like, oh great, I'm done. I went at 44 and was like, I'm going to start my career now as I'm more than halfway through my life. And you're just like, oh, that did not pan out. I should have done it 20 years ago. That's what my dad kept leaving out army pamphlets for me when I was 18. He's like, maybe you should join the army. And they might
and go die overseas.
you get abs. Come on. Abs at any cost.
There's
Even
a brochure for the jail. Up at the jail.
Yeah,
Not
one or
as-
the other. Yeah.
I can't believe you only had 4 jobs. What are your 4 jobs?
Yeah, I worked for my dad briefly.
Doesn't count.
Sports store. I worked at
Oh.
the comic shop in Terrace. I moved to Victoria, worked at the music store after a week, and then the cafe, what I'm at right now. I stick to my guns. I interview very well, and I'm extremely loyal,
Yeah.
viciously
You're
so.
making fun of my job, and then you work at a cafe. It's like
Yeah, but so do you.
I work at a glorified cafe. Yeah.
Right. I'm not making fun of your job. I didn't say that. Did I say
You
that?
called me a loser, pretty much.
I did not call you a loser.
Nash called me a loser. Darren, do you think
I
I'm a
hate it
loser?
when mom and dad fight. I hate it.
I did not do that. I was very careful because you were complaining
You
how much.
thought of it, and then you're like, "How am I going to avoid?"
Dude,
implying.
I work
it?
at a cafe. I specifically said that you were dissatisfied with your wage. And you always bring up how you're dissatisfied with the job. So then the next logical conclusion that you probably should have thought of months ago was that, hey, maybe I should find something else.
It is so hard to find a job.
I know.
My something else is comedy.
Right.
I'm just gonna. I got to take all my eggs and not put them in another basket. I'm just gonna throw them in an alleyway.
Canadian comedy.
I think there's yeah, it's so hard to find another job. Like you can just move around from one minimum wage job to another in Victoria.
I'm not denying that. I was just stating. I was just stating something.
That gluten-free Elliot didn't like.
It's got a little bit of breaded shallots.
They make them fiery though.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could have your dream job besides, I know your dream job's comedy.
Is it anymore? Is it fucking anymore? COVID's like, are we even doing comedy now? Come on.
But do you think,
Dude, COVID is over.
yeah, the world's your oyster?
Yeah.
You can do anything you
No,
want.
I'm saying like COVID. I went so long without comedy. Now I'm like, is this even what I want?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
I think there's a lot of people doing that little check-in. You're like, so if I go back to do comedy, what's the end game here exactly? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of? And then people just go, I don't know, because you like it. And you're like, that's not good enough.
That used to be good enough.
Yeah.
And then we almost died, and then we just sat in our house for 6 months
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I don't know. I'm pretty simple. I just only do things because I like to do it.
I know, but that's why I'm here. That's why I don't have a job that's better. Because I only do
Right.
things that I want to do.
Well, then what's wrong with that? You got to flip that perception a little bit then maybe.
Because I live in a basement suite.
Right. And you know what? I think it's those kids are dragging you down.
Gotta put them up for adoption. Can you put kids up for
or run away.
You could do that. You could be one of the. You could fake your own death and
I
leave
could-
the country.
I could kill you. What a great murder plot. We say we're going to fake his death, but we actually kill him.
He must have. We said it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Skip to Costa Rica. That's a nice dream. I like that Tom Cruise cocktail dream of just moving to Costa Rica and
eating all the gluten I can?
doing bottle flipping flair for tourists in a palapa.
A palapa.
Yeah,
Is that what the...
Is that a word?
I think so. I hope so.
I love it.
It's those little huts that are the
Can we call this
Little
the palapa?
yeah absolutely
Podcast live from the palapa.
Yeah. What's your flair like? You got flair?
I got some flavor. Every time I do cup drinks at work, I always shout out, cocktail!
Yeah, it is good.
Every time I play that in my head. Which I haven't actually seen that movie, but
You haven't.
No.
I don't think it holds up. I think it's terrible
There's definitely probably some rapey scenes in that, I think. I'm just judging by all the movies from that era. They're all like,
Yeah, there are lots of racist jokes.
Racist- oh, this is kind of rapey.
And they date rape a girl in it, and it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
remember rewatching Blade
it's
Runner
good
recently,
fun.
and she and Rocky. I was like, Rocky's the worst. With Adrian clearly wants out of that apartment,
Yeah.
and he does not let her out of that apartment.
So there's something. Someone said now.
Yo, Adrian, stay in the apartment.
no, don't go. Stay,
Yo, Adrian.
Well, that was he
You
was
can't
being,
leave.
He was being romantic, you guys.
dude. It makes me so uncomfortable. Watching
Don't
that
leave
stuff's
on
so
me.
uncomfortable.
But that comes with a warning now. Like it comes with trigger warnings if they show it in like the UK, where they're like warning domestic abuse and racial stereotypes.
But
'cause they
shouldn't
also
shouldn't you be able to have that in movies though? Because movies are supposed to be about real life, and that's something that does happen in real life.
No, I'm okay with it. I think it's just the context at the time. There was nothing wrong with it. That's
the
the
issue,
problem. I don't have any. I've always like put. And everybody's always had these problems with like sexual violence in movies and things like that. I feel if it's movies are strange. Actually, comedy's kind of like this too. Nobody gets like mad at a painting because it's
Rapey.
rapey or racial or something. You know, it's just so weird that only certain media is
subject to that.
subject to that. Like, I don't know if just I don't know why
Can we
that is.
cancel old paintings, Rembrandts?
Yeah, or Vermeer. Someone was talking about like
I'm
they
sure they're
suspect that Vermeer groomed the girl with the pearl earrings, so they're like, no more Vermeer. Should get rid of
Mona
them.
Lisa. I don't know.
But
There's a
movies-
reason why she's not fully smiling. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Da Vinci gaslit her into shaving her eyebrows.
But I do think
It'd
it's because movies are so recent. So when you go, oh, Elliot's parents went and watched Rocky and it was fine, and everyone's like, he's a hero. And then now you watch it like a generation later and you're like, oh, I think he's a bit of a meathead abuser.
Yeah.
And also the racial
But he's
stereotype
still
of
a
him being
hero.
like the, yo, I'm going to tell you that I want a meatball sandwich. and,
Isn't he
a
Italian
box."
though? I think that's fine, isn't it? Isn't Stallone?
Oh, maybe.
No, he's-
I don't know.
He wrote it for himself,
He's
right?
actually Gaelic.
Is he? Scottish. He's northern UK. Yeah.
Yo, I was trying to do a Gaelic.
Do a little penny whistle.
Sylvester Stallone.
Well, hi there, Adrian. We did it, didn't we?
Yo, Adrian.
It's your Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
That
Adrian, we did it. What the fuck was
that was like Mario.
Borat.
Mario.
Trying to do it with these headphones on. Oh,
there-
Adrian, we did it. Espresso.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I don't know. I still think it's a good movie. Like if something is a good product and a product of its time, like Rocky, it's still good, is it, or is it not anymore?
It's okay. This is going to be very controversial,
No one's listening anymore, so it's fine. Go ahead, Nash.
but I was remember.
Mrs. Park, you're gonna find out what kind of man your son is.
It's just interesting.
Flabby.
We
Racist.
might have to not release this episode.
just in general, or because of what you're about to say.
Okay, I don't mean it. This is just a thought I'm putting out there and something I've been
Okay.
kind of thinking of. Not even
seriously
thinking about.
about.
Timestamp this so we
It's
can.
just an interesting thing. I don't know the answers to this. Blah blah
Okay.
blah. Did you restart the clock?
No.
Oh, it's counting down.
Yeah.
Good call. Okay. On paper, I know this is a lot more complicated issue. People always get very upset with sexual violence in movies,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But I'm over here jacking off to that, and I'm like, "What's the big deal? I'm just rubbing my
This
dick
is-
to this. This
Yeah.
gets me hard."
I'm not hurting anybody. No, but then okay, sexual violence is murder is worse than sexual violence. Right?
Maybe.
They're on par.
You think you okay.
Okay. No. Okay. Go. Okay.
No,
well,
just about like
for
I
the
don't
sake of argument, let's say yes.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it's just interesting that people get so
If I'm the murdered person, it's less worse for me. I'm murdered. I don't care anymore.
I disagree. I think I
You
feel
think
that
ending someone's life? We know there's no afterlife, and heaven is a fairy tale
don't
until
know
you die.
shut up, Elliot.
So removing someone's ability to live from them as opposed to inflicting a trauma is worse.
Objectively, I understand there are ramifications for both, but okay, objectively, let me finish the point so then we can talk about it. That sexual violence murder is worse than sexual violence. It's just interesting that in pop culture and media, there's such a how could you dare portray sexual violence in media? But then you could have like just movies where
John Wick.
John Wick, where people just get murdered.
And then you get a movie like The Accused.
I don't know
And
what that is.
okay. My reference, it's a movie from 1988 with Jodie Foster.
So wait.
But what I'm
So
trying to
John Wick is a whole movie where he puts bullets in people's heads. What if he was putting only his dick in people's mouths unwillingly?
Unwillingly.
Just
That would
everybody.
be way, that would be
he's
way
just,
worse.
he's just taking out his dick, and just shoving it in people's mouths.
That would be
Like,
way.
like
I feel like that
at
movie
like
would
10
be-
people at 10 people a minute. That would be
Like the close comment, like
yeah, just like
Yeah, that would be a much more horrifying movie, actually. But I don't know if I've just been.
I'm not declaring either way. I just thought it was
ethically, which is worse.
I think it's interesting that there's such a big deal. Like I personally feel that if I was to be murdered as opposed to assaulted sexually, sorry, this is so horrible, but
We're gonna find out in just a minute.
oh my god,
what? I am leaving. You guys do what you do.
But I'm just, it's just an interesting. I was just
Yeah.
thinking about this the other day. How it's funny. It's not funny. Oh my god, it's just
Stop watching your words and just spit it out.
It's just interesting that
If anybody's gonna get canceled in this podcast, it's me. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
it's just
being
interesting that
so
that
sensitive
one
about
is
it.
so one is so taboo. But I just feel like that murder should be treated the same way. That's what I'm trying to say.
But
I'm not saying that
yeah.
sexual violence in movies should be treated lightly. I feel like that it's just strange that murder is not treated.
Like murder can be. You can have a fun movie like some whatever video game styley movie where someone goes around murders a bunch of people, like John Wick or Taken or something like that, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's fine." That was an enjoyable, what a thrill ride. But if it's a guy going around raping a bunch
maybe
of
the
people, it's not.
But
Yes,
even
I feel the difference is that people deserve in the movies who get killed deserve to be killed. That's not always the case with every movie.
No.
I feel
never
like
feel there's yeah.
it's also this is horrible. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking about this.
No, but
There's never been a movie where like the villain is like, you know, R.I.P.E. You know, E.D. You know, he's
R.I.P..
butt fucked.
Oh,
And
There
okay.
is though. Did you ever
And
see?
then you're like, yeah, get that ass.
But in the girl with the dragon tattoo, have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah. That's
yeah.
There's some
that
sexual
is one.
violence, and then the sexual violenter gets sexually violenced, and you're like raw team. So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Cuts
it's an
off his
innocent.
sticky dick.
It's also the way we've been brought up and the culture that we've been steeped in that leads us
even
to
sex
believe.
is taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just not.
There's no sex in movies.
Yeah. My point was it's just strange that murder's so like fun. You know, when it's actually really horrific.
Yeah.
And horribly dark and sad.
I don't like you talking about my hobby like that.
Don't murder shame. That's my.
Don't
catchphrase
kink
now.
shame.
I don't think that's the wrong way, Elliot, but if I found out you had murdered at least 6 people, I wouldn't really be surprised.
But I'm so small. How can I get away with it? That's
Exactly.
The thing.
You always keep bringing out how not strong you are and how light you are.
I'm so
Yeah.
weak,
But
guys.
there's just a
Can you come in
darkness.
this alley with me? I'm so weak right now. I'm so feeble. I can't even eat gluten. Can you come over?
Yeah, there's no way I could
I ate a
strangle you.
gluten sandwich. There's no way I could harm you at all.
I bought the cinnamon bun, but I can't eat it. Can you come eat it in the
Dude, you would get me in there in a second.
a chip?
What?
A trail
Cinnamon
of
bun.
a trail
You're not
of
going to eat that? I got it.
stamp, stamp, stamp.
I just
Was it
lay-
worth
I just
it?
lay on my
Was it
stomach
worth
in
it?
In the back of your van eating it.
And that's where we're going to end the podcast. Do you want to exit the podcast? Darren, you say bye.
Thanks for listening. This was the Ill Informers, brought to you by Wheelies, your friendly neighborhood dive.
They don't want us anywhere near their establishment.
Sorry. Thank
We're
you.
going to get sued.
We're not going to get sued. We
What are you
ate there.
doing?
We spent our...
Just want to say again, I was just thinking out loud. Just thought it was interesting.
Don't listen to him. He's apologizing too much. This is Nash Park. This is Elliot Ryan.
Thank
I'm
you.
Darren Miller.
If you got offended by something I said, please tweet about it. I need the publicity.
Please tweet Nash.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, so yeah, go ahead.
See you guys.